Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to be featuring product from the new mini catalogue that will be coming out on the 5th of June. And this will go, 5th of January, and it'll go up until the 30th of June. Just double check that date, and that is correct. So 5th of January you're able to order from this. Those customers of mine have probably received this catalogue. You can look through and see what's on the inside. I just cannot show you on here at the moment on YouTube, but feel free to look through your catalogues and have a look and see what you like. So it will feature in this catalogue. I am using the Art Gallery stamp set, which is featured on the front cover of this catalogue. And it comes with some dies. I've only just got the stamp set, so I'll just be dealing with that. It's going to be a really simple monochromatic card, and I'm using the Stitched with Whimsy dies. These are gorgeous. These do not cut out the shape, however they do give you that stitched detail, if you can see that, inside. So when you put this through, it'll just cut through all of the stitching, but it will not cut it out. So in case you're wondering how this die works. So what I'll do is I'll just get started with this card. I'm using one colour, very boring, but I love it. Basically I'm using the grey granite cardstock. It's half an A4 and then I scored it in half again. So I'll show you with a piece of paper. This is copy paper. So if you're ever wondering what A4 is and what A5 is and all that, it's not at all confusing. It's really, really simple. So what you do is I thought I had an A4 piece, but it doesn't matter now. So what you have is a piece of A4. So you literally fold it in half, then it becomes A5. So that's half an A4. When you fold it in half again, it becomes A6. And if you're not sure about the measurements, what I used to do in the past was I used to fold a piece of cardstock in half, then I'd go to my trimmer, and then I knew that cutting that in half will be about there. So I used to put little pencil marks there and things like that to help me when I was first starting out, because I had no idea about measurements and things like that. And then it became simple for me. So once I had all of my measurements sorted out, then I started to remember, and it was an easy thing for me to do. So that's just a tip for you. So what I will grab is my Stamparatus, and feel free to use a block. I like using Stamparatus because it's just easy for me to position things, and also if I don't stamp it well the first time, I can easily just go back and stamp it again. So that's the only reason why I use it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the die in the middle of this. And just get an idea of where I'm going to. I'm going to use this next size down actually, so this is the second largest one. I'm going to use that. That's it. So I'm going to frame this image around that. So I'm just using it purely for positioning, okay? So I'll grab my stamp, and I'm using, to start off with, I'm going to use the leaves right down the bottom here, and then I'll get an idea of where to position this afterwards. So it's all within, that's it. So it's all within. So I'll make sure I put it here, and we'll cut this through later. Okay, so I'll take that out, and I'm going to put the lid on and stamp that in grey granite. We're just stamping with one colour, so it's really economical, easy to do, and you know, it just, you can think easily with this. And especially after Christmas and everything, the craziness, it's nice to have something simple to do. So that looks good. Isn't that beautiful? It's got like a watercoloured look to that. So that's stunning. Okay, I'll take that off now. And the next one I'm going to use is this one over here. And I'm going to place that right where I think it'll look nice. So about here for me. I'm going to take this piece off. I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to get a scrap piece of paper and I'm going to stamp off just the once. And then I'm going to bring this back and then I'm going to stamp on again. So I want that to be pretty light. And that created a beautiful effect. And I don't care that it didn't 100% go off. It looks nice, it adds to it. So I'll clean that stamp off. And the next image I'm going to bring is this one over here. So this one adds like shading to that. So that one, I'll bring that out. Now, if you're mass producing these, too easy, you can use your plates with your Stamparatus and just stamp all over. So that works out really well. So here we're going to position this over the top. So just grab it here and I'll make sure I positioned it properly. So what I'm basically lining up is this area here to that area there. So I'm just lining up the stamp. And I think that's where that looks good. So I'll just pick it up with my lid and I'm going to stamp full strength with grey granite ink. And as you can see, it adds a really nice contrast and colour through that. So that's really beautiful, but it looks a little washed out. So what I might do is bring back my old one and put it back over that image again. I just want it to make it a tad darker, just a tad. So I'll take this one off now. Clean that off. And then I'll bring this back. Take it off again. And that looks a little bit better, a little bit darker, and I like the way that that turned out. So we'll stick with that. And this stamp set has really great sentiments on it. It's got, I miss you, congratulations, happy birthday, good luck, thank you, sorry, best wishes, you are lovely, and I'm thinking of you. And I love the font in these. I'm going to use the thank you because I want to send these out as my thank you cards for this month. So whoever orders through me will get this card this month. Oh, sorry, in January, not this month. All right, so I'm now going to add the thank you sentiment down here, and I will grab from my Stamparatus my little grid sheet and I'll line up my thank you precisely where I'd like it. So I'll do mine just over here and make sure it's lined up. So I'll just bring this closer to me for a second. And if you see my head, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to stamp a couple of times with that. So that's I'm going to stamp that again and make sure it's really dark. So you're using just shades of the one colour, and it looks like you're using many colours. Sorry about that noise. That was a funny one. And I mucked that up, didn't I? So just bear with me for 1 minute. We're going to fix this up on camera, and I'll just grab another set of dies and we'll have this sorted out. So just bear with me for 1 moment. Okay, so because I stuffed that up, I don't want to get rid of this altogether. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the thank you sentiment again, and I'm going to use this die over here from the Tasteful Labels dies. These are fantastic. You can use them for any occasion. So what I'm going to do is just grab a piece of cardstock. Get rid of that for a second. And I'm going to grab another white piece of cardstock. And I'm going to stamp the thank you up here and give myself enough room to cut that out. So when something like that happens, you can always fix that up by die cutting it out in the end. So I think that will do. So now what I'll do is I will grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, pop that away. And what we're going to do first off is we're going to cut the thank you. So I'll just bring my plates out. So you'll need your plate 1, 2 and your 3 plates. I've just got my old Sizzix plates. They work just as well. They're fine. I've got no problems with them at all. So I'll grab now the die, this one over here. And I'll cut that out. So I'll just position that well. And I'll cut that out. And then I'll show you the stitched with Whimsy dies. These are great. Whoops. Okay, let's see how that's turned out. And that turned out great. So we'll leave that to the side and put my die away, otherwise I will lose it, knowing me. And I have done so from experience, so I try and change my practices so I don't lose things, because I get pretty upset when I lose stuff. Alright, so now I'll grab that die, the Stitch with Whimsy die, and I'll position it where I'd like it along here. And it just adds a really nice border. I think it'll be really lovely. So I'll just grab my other pad, cutting pad, and put that through. So that's that with the die cutting. And can you see the stitching? So that's the detail that this die adds. So it doesn't actually cut it out, but that's the detail you get from it. So I think that turned out really cool. I love that. If you want to cut out the die, what I suggest as well is you can trace along it and then fussy cut it out. That's one way to get around it. So it comes with 2 rectangular dies, as you can see here. So you get a pretty large one and then a smaller one, and then you have some squares and 1 rectangular one. So that's pretty neat, I think. That's really nice. So I've got the thank you down here. So I'm going to put that away. And then quite simply, I'm just going to put the card together. So I'll just grab my glue. So keeping it really, really simple. And sometimes the monochromatic stuff is actually the most striking of all. Just something different other than what you see on the front cover of this. You can add whatever colours you like, but I sometimes just like to keep things simple. And then with regards to my thank you sentiment, I'm thinking I might cut that down a little bit with my scissors. I'll just grab those quickly. And I'll just cut right here. Really simple. Bam. Make sure it's nice and straight. Perfect. I'll put that there. I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals, and I'm also going to add, I think, a bow. So just bear with me for one moment. Just brought over some linen thread and my dimensionals. I like to keep them in this large stamp case. It's really handy. So I'm just going to grab 2 dimensionals, put one on here, and I'll put another one that away. So I'll just stick that down now with the dimensionals. And I'll straighten that up actually. And then I'm going to tie a linen thread bow. So I'll just grab some of that. And I'll keep it really simple. So if you've got kinks, just grab your bone folder and just curl it as if you would ribbon. And then what I do is just make 2 bunny tails, and I go over from the front and I'll bring it around. Oops. Just bring in that loop. And that's how I tie my bow. And then I just trim the tails. I like to work off the spools so that way I don't waste a lot of thread. And then I'll just put that over there, and then I think that that adds the perfect touch. So I'm going to use liquid glue. Just add that glue there. I'll just put that on the corner there. And when it dries up, it's a very strong hold, so you can use your Tombow glue. I'm using PVA glue. I think it's also, it's good for wood, paper, cardboard and fabrics, and it dries clear. So I've had this literally for about 3 years, and I've done a lot of cards over the years, and it still does not go away. So it lasts me a long time, but feel free to use whatever adhesive you feel is the most effective for you. I'm not going to tell you anything right or wrong here, just, you know, use whatever you want. So that is my finished card for today. I hope you like it. It's using 1 ink pad, and that way it's no fuss. And this stamp set is absolutely beautiful. So it comes with dies that cut it cuts this image, that image, and that image. So it cuts 4 images, 2, 3, 4. Plus it has a couple of like strips that look like postage stamps around. I didn't get the dies, I just got the stamp set. So for me, it works out better if I just get the stamp set. And that's photopolymer set, so it's nice and easy to use, and it will be available on the 5th of June. The Stitched with Whimsy dies add a really nice subtle border around your images. You can use them any way you wish. I think these are wonderful, and they too will be available on the 5th of January. So I think I said June before, but I meant January. So 5th of January you can order these, so I hope I don't confuse you. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment below this video, or you can message me through Facebook. I'll leave the links in the description box below this video. Thank you so much guys for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.